Okay, so it's me, Sean Goggins official, and I'm here with Jackson Hunter, and I'll have him introduce himself now.
What's up, Sean? My name is Jackson Hunter. I cover AMC and GME stock on YouTube, and I make music, and I'm a writer based out of Los Angeles, California.
So I think the obvious thing that a lot of people are thinking and wanting me to ask you is, why do you hunt people named Jackson? What is the end game there?
Dude, some people I just hate, man. They stole my name. Like, I can be the only one. If you have Jackson, you're going to be knocked off soon.
That is not very, it sounds kind of bigoted against Jacksons, but that's okay.
It's not my fault. Their mama named him Jackson, dude.
How's Los Angeles amid like the COVID restrictions? Are those easing up? And then like inflation and stuff, like, are you seeing that it's harder to get by day to day, things like that? What's your opinion on that?
First of all, you're the best person that's ever interviewed me. Let me just say that. And I've been interviewed
you.
a lot. LA with COVID, most people wear masks. Most people adhere to the guidelines, which I'm happy to see that. Until we're completely out of the woods, I think it's smart to just be safe, err on the side of safety. Nobody knows a whole lot about this it's still a relatively new virus. Like, people think, like 2 years is a lot of time, but in all honesty, when you run into a brand new virus, you don't know a thing about it. So LA has been really good. Like, me and my girl just saw a hockey game last week, but most people were wearing masks and just being safe. Yeah. What was the second part of the
like
question?
inflation, are prices getting out of control? Because it's already a pretty expensive spot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, even before this, it was like, I don't know, we're like the third most expensive city in the States. But yeah, dude, like, I don't have a car, so I don't notice the gas prices as much.
Yeah.
But let me just turn off this alarm real quick.
Yep, no problem.
It was actually an alarm to remind me of this interview.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, dude, everything is so overpriced.
Yeah.
From the gas to the rent to the mortgages to the food to the only thing that's not overpriced are televisions.
Oh, and yeah, televisions and tacos maybe still are like $1 some places, I bet.
I'm sure they are. We go to Taco Gavilan, which is like a pseudo fast food Mexican place. Nice. Yeah, but dude, everything is so crazily overpriced. Even our rent just went up like recently, really? And it was already like stupid high.
Yep. Let's talk a little bit about AMC and GameStop. What I wanted to touch on, most of the people that watch my interviews are not deeply into stocks. So they might have seen some of the things like the Jon Stewart hoopla, or that thing that's on Cinemax, I guess it is, or HBO. And a lot
Apple
of these
TV Plus.
Yeah, there's a few different things out right now. And what I keep noticing is that they sort of frame it as the squeeze already happened. This is all a historical documentary about something in the past. So could you explain why this situation is still ongoing and why you haven't sold?
Yeah, for sure. So there have been a lot of documentaries and TV shows. And by the way, the Jon Stewart episode was awesome. Some of my buddies were on it, and I think they did a great job. And yeah, they do talk about it like as if it's in the past tense, but I don't believe that the shorts have closed their positions. And if the shorts haven't closed their positions, then we really haven't seen a short squeeze. And the SEC report that came out on GameStop, I forget which, I think it was September, no, it was October. The SEC report concluded that there was no short squeeze and there was no gamma squeeze on GameStop in January 2021. So if that wasn't a squeeze, then that was just the result of people buying shares, buying options and exercising them. Maybe even not even the latter, actually. It was just really buying pressure. So this SEC concluded that it was not a short squeeze in January 2021. And we already knew that GameStop was shorted over 100%. It was up to a reported 226% short interest, which doesn't really make any sense. And I believe that most, if not all of those shorts have not closed their positions, and that's why I hold.
Yeah. I think the same thing. I've noticed over the
So you're in
last
the cult too.
I'm in the cult as well, a little bit. Yeah. Not as much as some people, but definitely in the GameStop cult.
You haven't taken the blood oath, dude?
Not yet, not yet. I've noticed over the last year, your opinion on Gary Gensler, who is the SEC chief, has sort of gone basically 360. You've been thinking he's going to get the job done or not, or, you know, so what do you think today? Do you think that the SEC is going to do their job here?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, you're spot on. In the beginning, I had his back, and then about 6 months went by. I didn't see what I wanted to see, and I just lost full faith. And then recently, probably 2 or 3 months ago, I was talking to some real Wall Street veterans, like guys that have been in the game for longer than I've been alive. And I was talking to them, and they were saying, you know, just wait, the regulations are going to come through, and it just takes time. And I think you've probably seen the Department of Justice has been cracking down on short sellers and, you know, taking away laptops and taking away cell phones from certain activist short sellers, which I don't even understand that term. But to answer your question, I don't think Gary Gensler single-handedly is going to get the job done, and nor do I really care about that. I really only care about the short squeeze happening. There's some people that are in this for like long-term stock market transparency and fairness, but I really just care about the short squeeze, and my viewers know that. But I do think Gary is moving as fast as he can. I'll just say that.
Yeah. I liked how Jon Stewart was pressuring him in the interview. If you happen to see that, that was pretty cool to see.
Oh yeah, I definitely saw that.
Yeah. So you are okay. So in pretty much all of your videos, you do a really good job of avoiding politics, despite the fact that anything Wall Street is pretty political. Are you a political person at all? You don't need to tell me which persuasion or anything like that, but is that like something that you try to keep on top of, to be neutral?
No, not at all. I don't follow politics in the slightest because I know they all lie just to get a seat in office.
Yep, that makes sense.
And also,
yep.
People don't know this, but I come from a family of politicians. So I saw this from a child. And
yeah,
like I used to go to all the banquets where people would pay $1,000 a plate and they'd kiss ass to one of my relatives. And then one of my relatives handed down his seat. And it's just, I saw it at a very early age, man. My relatives were good people, but most politicians they just say whatever they think you want to hear. And then once they get in, they do whatever they want.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin and like the crypto space? Do you have any Bitcoin or Ethereum, anything like that? Or are you just really just AMC GameStop for investing?
Yeah, I only own AMC and GME. No Bitcoin or Ethereum. I do think cryptocurrency is the future. I think it's misunderstood right now. And I was watching a Gary Vaynerchuk interview last night, and he explained it perfectly. Like when Web 1.0 came around in the late 90s, 97, 98, 99, you know, there were newspaper articles that were like, the internet's a fad, it's going to go away in 2 years. And like, look, we're on the internet right now conducting an interview. So, you know, when new things that are confusing at first are introduced, they're always met with backlash and flack and skepticism. But cryptocurrency is fully the future. I'm actually partnered with a cryptocurrency right now. Very stoked about it. It's also going to be a metaverse, and it's a whole thing. But no, I don't have any Bitcoin or Ethereum. I have only AMC and GME.
Yeah. What was I going to ask next? What have you learned in the last year through investing that you can apply to your like daily personal life, and bonus points if it's not patience?
Oh my God. Yeah, man. Don't trust mainstream media. Like don't even look at it. You know, I'm talking to myself right now. The stock market is completely not what 99% of the general public thinks it is. It doesn't move on fundamentals. It moves however it wants to, pushed by big money, which is institutional money and billionaires. It moves on a lot of times insider trading. It moves on shares that don't exist. It moves on orders that are only routed to lit exchange, not dark pool. I mean, I learned so much, which, you know, that's like stock market knowledge. I've learned a lot, but in all honesty, I've learned to not trust so easily, because I want to believe that people are good, which can be sometimes difficult in the city that I live in, because
Yeah,
you know, there's
definitely.
But you know, with that being said, there's snakes everywhere you go. But like, probably the biggest thing I've learned is like literally do your own research, and just, you can't trust anything, dude. Which is it can be kind of like a dark revelation at first and a little depressing, but it's actually pretty liberating as well, because you realize that you're the only person that you can rely on. And you know, we all know that to be true, but for it to have been shoved in my face for the past 13 or 14 months, it really like drives that lesson home, that you just can't trust anything, especially that's driven by the 1% of the 1%.
Yep, absolutely. Did you ever go through any sort of phase when you were younger that now makes you cringe when you look back at it?
No, never, man, never. I'm 30 now, so like you know, I was into like Taking Back Sunday and Brand New, and I was full emo, dude. Studded belt. I used to wear my sister's jeans in middle school, like, because they were tighter, all black, everything, skin tight. No, I really, no. I mean, I'm sure other people might have cringed at me, but I don't. Like,
Yeah.
you really, you know, like Jimi Hendrix's album called "Are You Experienced?" I think he was trying to tell people something more than what that actually, like, you might listen to that album or look at that album title and think like, oh, he's talking about using recreational drugs or psychoactive psychedelics. And I think he was actually on to something much bigger than that. And that is that when you have experience, you learn empathy for every single type of person that you meet in life. And I think like that's, you know, I'm not a religious person, but I think like that's one of our main purposes in life, is to, as we get older, develop empathy for every single type of person there is on this planet. And you can only do that by having different experiences. So when I've had different experiences when I was younger, I don't regret any of that. Was I like a complete fool and a train wreck in my late teens and early 20s? 100%, but I don't regret it, because also with experience, you can teach people, you know? So I can tell my children what not to do if you don't want to get arrested, if you don't want to owe the state a lot of money, if you don't want to be in terrible situations, if you don't want to end up with a withdrawal in the hospital. You know, like, you can teach people once you've experienced things. There's so many people, and I think you and I think pretty similarly on a lot of these things. There's a lot of people, especially this newer generation, they grow up on the internet and they don't have much real life experience. And so their only reference point for what reality is comes from what? YouTube, Snapchat, and TikTok.
And
but that's not real life. You have to actually experience things. And then you can provide value to people by telling them, no, don't go down that road, or go down that road. Or so experience breeds teachers. And I think that's super important for people that have been through things to speak on what they've been through also, because when I was struggling, you know, with anxiety and depression and substance abuse in my early 20s, I didn't see a lot of people that were speaking about those things that I was struggling with. And so I thought I was the only one, you know, especially when you're that young, you think the world revolves around you, and you think you're like so different, but you're not. I grew up and I realized that everybody's struggling. And the more that people talk about it, it makes it less taboo. And it makes the people that are struggling currently be like, hey, I'm not alone. And it's a super powerful, liberating feeling.
Well, that's a great answer. And you've been sober now how long?
Over 7 years.
Over 7 years. And was AA instrumental in that at all, or what are your thoughts on AA? Because that can be kind of a controversial topic sometimes with people in recovery.
Yeah, it's funny. It can be a controversial topic, which is interesting because those guys and those girls are only trying to help, right? It was not instrumental in me getting clean nor staying clean. I've been to AA, but sometimes it was court ordered, and sometimes my sponsor would just want me to go, but I didn't resonate with it a whole lot. I don't like people telling me what to do, and it felt like a teacher was assigning me homework. And there's a part in the 12 steps where you like have to apologize to all the people that you've wronged, but I didn't really screw over anyone's life. You know, I was more like abusing myself in isolation. I'm sure I like effed up some people's nights, but no, AA never resonated with me, man. I've been many times, but I haven't been recently. But if people are going and you're watching, that's great, man. Like, honestly, whatever helps you, I'm for. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Cool. What's your favorite rap beef of all time?
Oh, man. I don't really focus on the drama too much, but I am a hip hop scholar. Probably like, I'm not going to say Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah.
Biggie is like one of the reasons I started rapping though, but I'm not going to say that because that ended tragically. And like,
yeah,
the interesting thing is they didn't even really hate each other. That's the thing.
Yeah,
they were homies at one point. And so that thing got out of hand. I'm trying to think, probably like a 50 Cent, man, probably 50 Cent with anyone. I mean,
yeah. Did you happen to see
with anyone he's beefing with, man?
Did you see the Pusha T Arby's commercial where he's dissing McDonald's?
No.
Oh, you got to check it out. It's so funny. It's really well done. What are your thoughts on Kanye West?
I think he's a fantastic musician, and I hope he's doing all right, and I hope he continues to do amazing things, man. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is in my top 5 hip hop albums, top 10 any genre albums ever.
Yeah. Would you rather drown or be buried alive?
Drown.
Okay. Would you rather have 24/7, 365 terrible gas, or a really, really dry mouth where it's like to the point where it's difficult to even speak all the time?
Well, I already have the 24/7 terrible gas. So, man, I'd probably choose the dry mouth.
Okay. Have you ever seen a ghost?
No.
No. What about that guy Bigfoot?
No.
Okay. What is your favorite conspiracy theory?
Oh my gosh. That's not even something I dig into a whole lot.
Okay.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. I think a lot of times Occam's razor is the truest answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
On a cooking show, when someone describes a dish as earthy, what does that mean?
Earthy, oh my God. Dude, you have the best questions, man. Especially because I live in LA, and so there's all these like trendy healthy spots.
Yeah.
And they probably use that word. Shit, man. I mean, it sounds like it tastes like dirt and twigs and leaves and grass, which I wouldn't want to taste that.
Yeah.
Earthy. They mean that it tastes like organic, unprocessed, natural. That's what they mean. Okay. But it sounds like dirt.
You're forced at gunpoint to have 2 plastic surgery procedures. What do you get?
I'm gonna get, if you've ever seen Eastbound and Down, I'm gonna get the elongated chin like Stevie got in Eastbound and Down. And this is great. This is great. Plastic surgery. And then I'd put hair where my widow's peak is.
Yeah. The
That's what I
plugs,
would do.
the Elon Musk plugs.
Yeah.
Can you do any impressions?
Dude, I am the absolute worst at impressions.
Yeah.
But I can do Borat a little bit. I can do Bruno too. Borat and Bruno are like my favorite movies. Like,
Nice.
It's me, Bruno, and I was at the Louis Vuitton store, and then she told me to come in. I said, no, that looks disgusting. That's Bruno.
That's pretty good. I can do one I made up last night is Donald Trump doing Andrew Dice Clay bits from the 80s. And so it's like, little Bo Peep, she lost her sheep. Probably one of the worst trade deals of all time. They say I lost the 2020 election. I'm finding ballots everywhere. Ballots up the wazoo. There we go. Trump doing Andrew Dice Clay. Thank you. How many times have you been able to perform in the last 2 years with COVID and all that? And what have the highlights of the shows been?
Man, in the last 2 years, I've probably done 7 or 8 shows. Highlights, opening for Griselda. I just played an amphitheater for the first time. That was cool. Dude, I'm so fortunate, man. I've been able to do a lot. Those 2 things, yeah.
You opened for Jizza, right?
Yeah.
Did you get to talk to him at all?
No.
Okay. Because one time I met him at a bar. He was playing in town and we really broed down. I made him laugh and stuff. And I wasn't going to go to the show. But then at the end, I was like, hey, could you put me on the list? And he was like, yeah, I got you, man. And I go and I'm not on the list. So I think Jizza punked me.
You actually asked him to put you on the list?
Yeah. And he said it was no problem. And I think he punked me. Yep.
He was probably stoned. He probably just
that
forgot.
too, maybe. Yeah. Let's see. We're winding down here. Oh, you're big into football. Are you into other sports at all, like basketball? Now that's kind of getting into the postseason. And
no, dude, basketball looks like the same play over and over again.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you have a favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Nice. And then what's the best way for people to find you and support your music and your videos and stuff like that?
At Jackson Hunter Maverick on Instagram. You can search Jackson Hunter on all streaming platforms, and then Jackson Hunter on YouTube. I'll be the idiot talking about stocks until this thing squeezes.
Nice. And then, okay, since I guess this isn't live, I was thinking maybe I'm gonna chop up and put one of your videos at the end. Which one should I do? And if so, introduce the song, I guess.
Oh, music video?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Let's do okay. Yeah, so we can do Fragile Cinema. I dropped it in August of 2020. The music video came out a little while after that, but it's called Fragile Cinema. It's by Jackson Hunter, and it's about almost dying a couple times.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me again, and I hope you have a great spring and summer, and maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Thank you, Sean. Love you, buddy.
Adios. Bye.
You're pulled this way and pushed that way. Everyone is trying to sell you something. On top of that, you can disappear at any minute. Welcome to the Fragile Cinema.
Just like every other day, I got my coffee in the morning. I'm walking out the exit and he stopped me with no warning. From his vehicle, the window peeled and caught me not so warmly. It's foggy and it's stormy, I'm groggy, please ignore me. Suddenly I've come between this man and his location. He asked me where I'm from and what's my gang participation. I can't believe it, and the reason is that peace is just the first and last word in the thesis to my mission statement. In a zip up, one hand on lip blunt and the other on the pistol waiting. All the times I risked my life for this to take me. The shock had blocked the words from forming. The cloth atop my body isn't sporty. Black as fuck but lacks the rock for terror. Tory, mortality in the coin toss. I couldn't think, but now I'm thinking of the joy lost. Struggles are truly just nothing but beauty. They almost yelled, cut on the movie. I wish I told them to shut up or shoot me. The doomsday clock has shrunk. I got my demons in the trunk. I might not see you in a month. Hold your tickets out for the lovely fragile cinema. The doomsday clock has shrunk. I got my demons in the trunk. I might not see you in a month. Hold your tickets out for the lovely fragile cinema. Austin, Texas, March 2018. The nights they were surreal in this runaway dream. A couple friends were in the pen, I'm in other states free. So much on my mind to hope my brothers stay clean. And I've been doing all I can with this music in my hand. I might lose it in the end, I still go through it all again. By now we've circled city, jumping roof to roof. Nameless folk from the A-list boat, I flew the coop. So it's the last day of the trip, and my final performance. Another cascade that I swim through, our vitals are dormant. We're only halfway through the list, and the lineup is forfeit. While the backstage shows are fit, I'm fine with this fortune. I'm notified by the promoter, I can still perform. It's over by, we'll hope the times we coax arrive. The show arrives, and then we go inside. I know it's fine to get ignored. I say hi to Bouncy, he denounces, all I feel is scorn. I'm with my photo taker, so I won't say no to danger. I should have seen this coming, waiting in the cold with strangers. We're in the parking lot, it's darker than a charmer's plot. I wear the world around my neck like halter top, they're holding stainless. That's when he popped a shot, we hauled it off to knock it drop. Called a cab, it all went bad, but it's like action lifts me up. In time, the thin line that entwines like wind chimes will strip lives that splits right from the fragile cinema. The doomsday clock has shrunk. I got my demons in the trunk. I might not see you in a month. Hold your tickets out for the lovely fragile cinema. The doomsday clock has shrunk. I got my demons in the trunk. I might not see you in a month. Hold your tickets out for the lovely fragile cinema.